Welcome back to another episode of Android application development tutorial. In today's episode we are going to learn about how to set a custom background for an Android dialog. So you can add your own background for a dialog using a separate layout file. So the first step you need to do is to add a separate layout XML file in layout folder. So here in this project I already add a separate XML file in the layout folder. The file name is my dialog background. Okay, so in this XML file I add three view components, an image view and two edit text. So the user can enter his username and password using these two edit text, and at the top of the dialog there is an image using an image view. So I set the src for the image view is a JPG image available on the drawable folder. Yeah, this one is the image that I used with the image view that contain a symbol text demo app. This is a symbol JPG image. Okay, so you can see that image on the drawable folder. I placed that particular image on the drawable folder with the name dialog background.jpg. So for the image view I set the background at the drawable dialog background. This is the image, and also I set some layout parameters for the image view, width, height, and set the scale type into center. And here I set some background color for the image view. So this is the HTML color code corresponding to some smooth orange color. Okay, and now below the image view I add two edit text. First one is the edit text with the ID username, and set the input type as text email address, and set some layout parameters, margin top, left, right, and bottom. Also put an hint for the edit text, enter username here. And the second edit text is for entering some password. So I put the input type as text password. So if you change the input type of an edit text into text password, the font family of that particular edit text is automatically changed into monospace. So for getting the same appearance for the two edit text, I set the font family into sans serif for the second edit text. Also here I set some layout parameters, and finally I put an hint on the edit text, enter your password here. Okay, so now we have to create the dialog. So for creating dialog you have to create a separate class file on the package. So I create a new class here. I name the class as my dialog. Okay, and browse for the superclass. Here I am going to show an alert dialog using dialog fragment. So and click finish. Okay, now we got a class that extends dialog fragment. So for creating the dialog you need to override the method onCreateDialog. So I override that particular method. So now here we need to create a separate background layout for the dialog. For that we need an object of layout inflator. I name the object as inflator. Also we need an object of view class. Okay, so first we have to initialize the inflator object. So inflator equal to get activity dot get layout inflator. Okay, now I am going to inflate that particular XML file in layout folder. That particular file name is my dialog background. So view object v equal to inflator dot use the method inflate. First you have to provide the resource of the layout. So r dot, it is available on layout folder, r dot layout dot my dialog background, and we are not using any root element, so use null instead of root. Okay, so now I am going to create the alert dialog. So we need the builder object, so alert dialog dot builder, I name the object as builder, equal to new alert dialog dot use this constructor and pass get activity for context, for getting the context. Okay, now for getting a background you have to use a method called set to view with the builder object. So builder dot set to view and pass the view object. So here I pass the view object. Now I am going to add a positive and negative button, so set positive button and change the text of the button as OK, and here you have to add some on click method for the button. So new dialog interface dot on click listener, and here you have to import some package, import the needed packages. Now set a negative button, put a text for the negative button, cancel, also add some layout, also add some on click listener. So new dialog interface dot on click listener, and finally put a semicolon here. So here I just create a builder object, and using that builder object I set the background for the dialog using the set view method, and here I add two buttons, a positive button and a negative button. Finally we have to create the dialog using create method, so return builder dot create. Okay, now for showing this dialog on the main activity I add a button called login. So here I add a on click method for the button called login method. So on main activity I already defined that method called login method. Okay, so here I am going to create an object of our dialog class called my dialog. So my dialog, I name the object as dialog equal to new my dialog. Okay, now for showing the dialog you have to call the method called show method. So dialog dot show and provide the supported fragment manager, and also put a tag here, my dialog. Okay, now we complete the coding. Now we can test the application. So select the project and click the run button and open your emulator. Now we got the project, I click the login button. Now we got the dialog. So the dialog contains three view components. First one is a image view, second one is edit text, third one is another edit text, and a positive button and a negative button. And here is the image that appear at the center of the image view, and here we got some background color is an orange color. Okay, so user can enter some text here and enter some password here and click OK button. So we have to handle that one. So go to my dialog. So for getting the value from the edit text we need two objects of edit text, user and pass. Okay, so whenever user click the positive button this method will invokes. So user equal to use the view object v dot find view by id or dot id dot username, also pass equal to v dot find view by id or dot id dot password. Okay, you need to cast it into corresponding class. So here I'm going to show a message using the toast dot make a text using get activity. Welcome. You can get the username from the edit text user. Welcome user dot get to text dot to string. Also we have to show the password. So I need a new line, so put /n, and now here I'm going to show the password equal to pass dot get text dot to string. Also make a duration for the toast dot make it into short, and finally make the toast visible using show method. What happens? Okay, here you have to put a plus. Okay, and finally make it into visible using show method. Okay, now we can test the application. So I run the project again. I click the button, the dialog appear, and I add a username Prabish and put a password. Click the positive button. Welcome Prabish, and my password is password. Guys, this is how we add a custom background for a dialog in Android. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe my channel for getting more video updates. See you in the next part.